Cat 950M assembly and nut breaker. Torque the nut on. Okay, so I already got the seals in there. I showed you that. Now I've put some red grease in on the inside on the seals here. And we're gonna get this on the rod. There is a, I've already used the grease and got that right. There is a slight bevel on here. You don't want to just start slamming this on. Make sure there's no sharp edges. It's rounded, but be careful. You don't want to cut the seal. This thing's pretty heavy, so try to get it working on. You're going to have to get it over the... Okay, there it goes. Perfect. It went right on. Use a lot of grease. I like using this red grease right here. Red and tacky grease. That's basically what mostly we use for assembly. Okay, so you got that on. Now we're going to put the piston on. And I showed you that. We have all the new seals on the piston. Okay, it's all done. And then there's no O-ring or anything. It just slides on there. The way this one's going to seal up is by torquing it down. Okay, now I have the nut here, which you saw in the first video. This thing was super loose. Okay, sometimes when the mechanics will order, when they're ordering the kits, they'll order a new nut and all this stuff. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to torque it down on our machine here, but we're going to use some Loctite this time. And I'm just going to put some on the threads here. And we're going to torque this thing down right. You don't ever want these coming apart. And this type of equipment, they're heavy duty. They're beating it up and hammering on the hydraulics, and you don't want one of these cylinders to fail. So I was pretty generous on the Loctite there. What I'm going to do here is then we're going to put this on. We'll motor the nut down, and then we'll torque it with the cylinders. And I have a chart that tells me how much pressure I need to get to the right torque for this nut. And you won't be able to see that, but it's over on my control panel over there. Definitely, though, when I put it on, no one's going to be able to take this off unless they have a machine. And impact won't even touch this thing once it's torqued. Like I said, you got to remember, this thing's, I mean, it could be holding 4,000 or 5,000 pounds in that bucket. It's all held by this cylinder, so you know it has to be torqued on there. Okay, it started to hit the nylock, so I'm going to bring this back. It's hard to do with one guy, but okay, so let me turn the power unit on. Sometimes you can, let's put the nut on first. I can see where we have to get it adjusted so you can get this up. Okay, got it locked in there. Then we'll lock our vice thing here in. Okay, so we're going to motor this on until it stops. Then we'll go to the cylinders. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I need to tighten this clevis up. On the clevis, I need to capture this better because I'm going to torque it down now. helps out another guy on the other side. But like I was telling you before, I usually do these videos on the weekends because there's too much stuff going on, a lot of noises and things, and it makes it harder to do the videos. Let me give you a better view of that, what I'm doing here. Trying to capture this. Let's just pull this. Okay, see right there? I'm trying to get that closed up. So we don't want this slopping there. I want it tight when I start torquing this nut down. Should have had this done in the beginning, but things are a pain in the ass. There we go. See, I don't want this. I'm going to tighten this up. Might not be able to do it with this one because the threads have been bashed up. I can get it on this side. There you go. Suck that up. Keep that straight. Then you're going to tighten these. Make sure you tighten these out. You'll snap the Allen bolts. There's going to be a lot of torque on this thing. I'll make sure you get it all tightened down. And now we're going to take it off the motor and go to the cylinders. That's where we're going to get our torque in here. I'm going to shift that over to go to the cylinders, the selector valve. Check my gauge setting here. Okay, here we go. You can't see it, but I'm over here watching the gauge, pressure gauge. They tell me how tight it's got to go. You got to be careful too. You can over tighten these things. I've actually snapped rods off before. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, right there. Okay, now sometimes it's hard to get this out of here because there's a lot of pressure on it. Oh, no, no, no. You know what? Okay, it's not tight yet. Hold on a minute here. See that? We're going to go back to the motor here. See if it'll continue to tighten that up. Yeah, I didn't have it all the way tight. The pressure started coming up, but the motor can only take it so far. We just use that for the speed. Why that pressure was coming up. Okay, there it's starting to grab. Okay, that's it for that. See, the motor won't do it anymore. So now we'll go back to the cylinders, reset my pressure, my gauge. Oh yeah, it's a lot different now. I can see it. It's real close. Okay,